All right, in the meantime, back to the Democratic side, and all those Democratic voters who think that it's just Republicans who have these infighting battles. No, no, no. In fact, a third of Bernie Sanders supporters say they will never go to Hillary Clinton if it ever turns out she's the nominee. I think a like number of her supporters who are similarly reluctant to go to him if he is. Real Clear political reporter Rebecca Berg. Rebecca, that sounds like a tension convention right there.
It does, Neil. And so this is why the Clinton camp, one of many reasons the Clinton camp and Hillary Clinton herself really want to resolve this primary prior to the convention. It is so vital for them that Bernie Sanders get out of the race. They're making the argument already that he doesn't have any sort of viable path to the nomination. So why carry out this fight until the convention? She really needs the convention to start to bring the party together, unify the Democrats for the general election. And really, she, I think, ideally would want to start that pivot right now. But Bernie Sanders is holding on.
You know, Rebecca, you and I have chatted about this before. I do not see any scenario in which Bernie Sanders says, you know what, they're right. I should fold up my tent. He's won 7 of the last 8 contests, some by big margins, other a little closer. He would argue, I'm Mr. Momentum, not her. And by the way, I stand a very good chance of at least preventing her from locking this thing up when we get to Philadelphia. You say what?
Sure, I agree with you, Neil, absolutely. I mean, what we hear all the time now, this refrain, is momentum versus math. Bernie Sanders' team thinks he has the momentum. Hillary Clinton's campaign arguing that the math is on her side. And of course, Bernie Sanders' campaign is holding on to the hope that some of these superdelegates, which are unbound on the Democratic side up until the convention, they're holding out hope that these superdelegates will turn their way. Now, the likelihood of that is very small, I would argue. And of course, many Democrats are making the same argument at this point. But Bernie Sanders has the money to continue, and really there's nothing to keep him from keeping on this campaign, except for Hillary Clinton and except for the good of the Democratic Party, some would argue. But of course, he is only newly a Democrat, so he doesn't bear any sort of obligation to the Democratic Party as a whole.
Which party do you think is more dysfunctional, is more screwed up?
That's a tough question, actually. You could make the argument for both. I think the Democrats probably are going to have a much easier time at the presidential level in this election cycle, but just by virtue of having probably an easy choice at the convention, Hillary Clinton will get the nomination, and then she has a pretty standard record for a presidential candidate running in a general election. So there's less drama there. But when you look to the future for Democrats, I think what Bernie Sanders' candidacy and the success that he has seen has done has really illustrated the divide in the Democratic Party, which is not getting smaller, it's only getting wider. And in the Democratic Party, as in the Republican Party, there's this distrust of institutions and distrust of lawmakers in Washington, and that's something they're going to have to address in the long term as well.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's got over 1,000 delegates. If you look at those who are committed delegates, she only leads them by 200. I know the superdelegates make it a very different math, but it looks like a race to me. Rebecca Berg, thank you very, very much.